Good afternoon, ma'am. Ma'am, good afternoon, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am? Pami ma'am, am I audible? Pami ma'am, am I audible? Am I audible? Ma'am, am I audible? Ma'am, yes, ma'am, you're audible, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Maria, is my audio clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You are audible.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Maria. My audio is clear,
Yes, ma'am. You are audible, ma'am.
but video I am not able to.
Wait a minute, ma'am. Just a minute. Now you can able to access the video, ma'am.
It's clear.
Yes, ma'am. Video is clear, ma'am. நம்ம இதுல யார் சொல்றாங்க ஃபீட்பேக்? விக்கி, நம்மளோடதுல ஃபீட்பேக் யார் சொல்றா? மங்கை மேம் ஷோரா? அவங்க மீட்டிங் இருக்குன்னாங்க. மேம் அந்த ஃபீட்பேக் சொல்றாங்கல்ல மேம், அது யார் நேம் மேம் சொன்னீங்க? பி ஃபார் பாலா மேம், இல்ல டி ஃபார் டக்கா? ஓகே ஓகே மேம். ஓகே. இப்போ சப்போஸ் அவங்க எந்த நேம்ல வராங்கன்னா அவங்கள கோஹோஸ்டா மாத்தினா மட்டும்தான் அவங்களால வீடியோவும் ஆன் பண்ண முடியும், பேச முடியும். இல்ல அப்படின்னா வேற யாராவது நம்ம ஜென்ரலா சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா, யார் யாரெல்லாம் ஃபீட்பேக்
Maria, you check whether madam has joined.
Okay, ma'am. Not yet joined till now. I will check again.
She is not joined.
No, ma'am. Not yet joined, ma'am.
Ask Pavai to call her.
Yes, ma'am.
Kamala ma'am. Good.
Madam, good afternoon. Geeta, madam.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Maria, she has joined.
Not yet joined, ma'am, but called. She told she will join soon, ma'am.
Maria, I think she has joined. Can we start? We just find out. Shamla,
Yes.
madam.
Yes, ma'am, she has joined, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. We'll start, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I'm here, ma'am.
Good afternoon, madam. Shamla, madam, welcome you. Can we start now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We can start. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Shall I start, ma'am?
We'll start.
Small steps in the right direction can turn out to be the best step of your life. With a warm noon wishes, I welcome everyone to the 5th day of virtual short-term course organized by Faculty of Education, Dr.MGR Educational and Research Institute in collaboration with Western College of Education. To start up this session, I would like to call upon Mrs. Barina M. Leo, Research Scholar, Dr.MGR Educational and Research Institute, to deliver the welcome address.
There is nothing better than expressions in words. A very happy afternoon to all and all present here. It's my great privilege to welcome all participants today for the 5th day of short-term course on curriculum design and development on the topic Recent Trends in Curriculum Development, organized by the Faculty of Education, Dr.MGR Education and Research Institute in collaboration with Curriculum Development Cell, Western College of Education, Chennai. The purpose of education is to replace an empty mind with an open one. To begin with such thoughtful sessions, I would like to welcome all the executives and dignitaries of both Dr.MGR Education and Research Institute and Western College of Education. I take immense pleasure in welcoming Chief Guest of the Day, Dr. A. Shyamala Devi, Professor, Department of Education, University of Madras, Chennai. We welcome you, ma'am. My heartfelt welcome to all the participants of today's program. Last but not least, I extend my cordial welcome to all the organizing secretaries who have joined today with us to make this event a grand success. With no further delay, let's begin the session. Once again, I welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Barina, for your warm welcome. I now request Ms. L. Maria Suganti, ma'am, Assistant Professor, Faculty of Education, Dr.MGR Educational and Research Institute, to introduce the chief guest of this session.
Am I audible, ma'am? A warm afternoon to the beautiful gathering with us today. It's my immense pleasure to introduce the guest speaker of the session, Dr. A. Shyamala Devi, Assistant Professor, Department of Education, University of Madras, Chennai. She has about 13 years of experience in teaching, and her specialization areas are research methodology, statistics, and special education. A renowned person with good reputation in his research profile. She has presented more than 30 papers in national and international level conferences, and she has published 2 papers in reputed international journals. She has guided 50 M.Ed and 11 MPhil students. She has been appointed as a question paper setter for 2 universities, Sri Venkateswara University, Tirupati, and Periyar University, Salem. She has been appointed as a member of the Inspection Commission for BSc, B.Ed in Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University. She has acted as a resource person for the national and international webinars. She has headed institutional responsibilities like Special Officer for Dr. ALM School, Palavakkam, Alumni Coordinator for the Education Department, coordinated many national conferences, special lectures, and endowment lectures. Her contribution to the field of educating students is humongous. It's a great privilege to have such a renowned person amidst us. I'm immensely pleased to welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
L. Maria Suganti, ma'am, for the brief introduction. I request our chief guest, Dr. A. Shyamala Devi, ma'am, to take up the session. Please, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, I couldn't turn on my video. I don't know why. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So I have joined in another device.
Oh, okay, okay. Let me know that name, ma'am.
Maybe the same name only, Shyamala.
Okay, okay, ma'am. It is not showing, ma'am.
I'm there, ma'am.
Okay. Ma'am, your name is not available in attendees list, ma'am. Only one name is there. For that, I have given co-host.
I couldn't turn on my video. I joined through my laptop as well as in my
It's same name, ma'am, but
same name in my
yeah,
mobile also.
but only one name is showing here, ma'am.
Oh. Okay, ma'am. I don't know. Something went wrong. I couldn't open my video. I don't know why.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, now try, ma'am. Ma'am, I have given another name also. Kindly try it, ma'am.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. A very good afternoon to all. I'm very happy to be a part of this 5-day short-term course on curriculum design and development. Thank you so much, Maria ma'am, for your kind words of introduction. And I thank both the management for this opportunity. And let me share my screen. Yes. Is my screen visible, ma'am?
Yes, yes, ma'am. It's visible, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So my topic of today's discussion is to be recent trends in curriculum development. So this is the 5th day, that is the last day of the short-term course. So by this time, you would have known what is meant by curriculum design, curriculum development, planning, so and so. But I would like to start my presentation with the terminologies related to curriculum. So first, curriculum framework. So what is meant by curriculum framework? So curriculum framework is a supportive document, or we can say it is a set of all content, the whole content, which will help the educators to develop their own curriculum. So in an educational institution, if you want to develop a curriculum for a program, then we need this curriculum framework. So with the help of curriculum framework, we will be developing our curriculum. So curriculum is nothing but the whole content which comprises of the knowledge, skills, and values, the learning experiences, which has to be taught to the students in a particular course or a program. And next is the syllabus. So from the curriculum, we can develop the syllabus. So the syllabus is nothing but the subject expert will develop the syllabus from the curriculum. And next one is curriculum development. So what is meant by curriculum development? So developing the curriculum, of course, we do develop the curriculum. So how we are going to develop the curriculum? It is a process of selecting, organizing, and executing as well as evaluating in terms of students' needs and societal needs. So the curriculum should be developed in terms of the students' needs as well as the societal needs. So why it is important? So before 10 years, if you want to frame a curriculum, not frame, if you want to develop a curriculum for the department, we used to download some curriculum from other universities. So with the help of that curriculum from other universities, we will be developing our curriculum. But that is not the case now. So we have to sit and think about the status of our students, their needs, their interests, so and so. So based on the needs, interest, attitude of our students, as well as based on the societal needs, we need to develop the curriculum. So that is said to be curriculum development. So curriculum development is nothing but it is selecting, organizing, executing, and evaluating the learned experiences based on the student's ability, interest, attitudes, as well as the societal needs. And coming to trends in curriculum development. So according to International Bureau of Education, curriculum trends means the changes that takes place in the curriculum, the changes which takes place in the curriculum in terms should respond to the current and anticipated changes which takes place in the society as well as in the field of education. So if you want to develop a curriculum based on the emerging trends, which means the changes which takes place in the curriculum should reflect and respond on the current changes as well as the changes will happen in the near future. So based on this, we need to develop the curriculum that it is said to be the trends in curriculum development. And the next one is, ma'am, is my screen visible?
No, ma'am, just now it's interrupted, ma'am. Kindly reshare it again, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Previously, it was visible.
Actually,
Yeah.
I'm changing the slide. Is it visible or not?
Yeah, it's visible now. It is in first slide now.
Yeah.
I think presentation mode is not viewing here. Now it is in gray scale.
Oh. So I'm just changing the slide. Is it changing or not?
No, it's not changing, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. Ma'am, shall I send the PPT to you? Can you change?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Will I do that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Yes, ma'am, I have shared it through WhatsApp.
Yes, ma'am.
Third slide, ma'am.
Third one. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. No, third one, ma'am. Previous one. Previous one. Next. Trends. Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Okay. So trends in curriculum development. So according to International Bureau of Education, curriculum trends means the changes that takes place in the curriculum should respond and react to the current and anticipated changes and development which happened in the society as well as in the field of education. So for your information, till now in our country, 4 national curriculum framework has been done. That is in the year 1975, in the year 1988, 2000 and 2005. So far, 4 national curriculum framework has been done, and this national curriculum framework of 1975 was developed as the follow-up of National Policy on Education 1968. And now the central government is currently working on formulating 4 national curriculum, that is for school children and early childhood care and education, teacher education, and then for adult education. So in these 4 areas, now the central government is working on curriculum work. And most importantly, the school curriculum framework is being reworked after 16 years. So after 16 years, now only we are working on the curriculum framework of school education. See, I used to tell my students in the class that in my school days, I have learned that India is a developing country. And my son now, he is learning that India is a developing country. So when we are going to become a developed country, unless and otherwise we are going to work on the curriculum framework of national curriculum framework of school education, we cannot become a developed country, because we all know that education is a powerful weapon, and today's children are future citizens of the country, and education is what else? According to Kotari Commission, it rightly said the destiny of India is being shaped in the classroom. So we know everything, but unless and otherwise we work on the national curriculum framework, we cannot become a we cannot uplift our status to developed countries. So this curriculum framework is very, very important. And we have 3 curriculum, that is global curriculum framework, national curriculum framework, and then the state curriculum framework. So we have 3 curriculum framework, and the state curriculum framework will be devised based on the district level consultation with stakeholders. So the government will identify the stakeholders from all the districts, and these district level stakeholders will give some inputs. Based on this, the state curriculum framework will be designed. And from the state curriculum framework, the national curriculum framework will be developed. Why we are giving importance to state curriculum framework in India? Because we are not like United States. It is in America. There they have United States, but in India it is Union of States. So every state will be considered as a separate country, and every state is different in terms of language, culture, needs, etc., etc. So the state curriculum framework is very important to develop the national curriculum framework. And now the NCERT has set up August 2022 as the deadline for finalization of the school national curriculum. And after that, they have planned to work on the textbooks. So while developing the curriculum, we need to think over the current trends. So current changes which happened in the society as well as in the field of education. So in my presentation, I'm going to focus on what changes do we need to bring about in the curriculum in terms of emerging trends. So that will be my focus of discussion. So let's talk about. So nowadays, now we are in a new normal situation. So what is meant by this new normal situation? That is, a new normal means a state in which the society, the people started living a normal life after a pandemic or a crisis. So now after pandemic, now we learn the art of living together with the corona, right? So now we are in a new normal situation. And this COVID-19 pandemic in India, around 250 million students were affected due to this school closure, right? So the COVID-19 pandemic has created a tremendous changes almost in all the sectors, and education is one such sector. So the impact of COVID-19 on school education has created a lot of problems, and I'm going to tell you a few problems. Number one, rise in dropouts, especially in rural areas. So in rural areas, the dropout rate is more. So how we are going to address this issue in curriculum development? And also, why the dropout rate is more? Because nearly for 2 years, we don't have any schools. And because of that, what happened? The students have went for other jobs, like cattle rearing and some other jobs. So the school dropout rate is more in rural areas. Not only the students are affected, even teachers. Recently, I have watched an interview in which a teacher says that he moved to some other job. He is working as a labor in a building contract because the schools are not giving good salary for the teachers, and hence the teacher has shifted the job to some other profession, right? So both the teachers and students were affected, and hence what we are going to do in curriculum development, how we are going to address this issue. This is one major problem. And then learning loss. So what is meant by this learning loss? That is, the grade 5 student is not able to read, write, and also not able to do a simple arithmetic. That is, simple text the student cannot read. The student is not in a position to read and recognize the words and letters, not letters, the words, as well as they are not able to do simple arithmetic like addition and subtraction. So this is called learning loss. So even the 5th grade student not able to read and write. And then next one is the previous slide. Okay, so next one is learning. So learning loss is over, and next one is learning poverty. So what is meant by learning poverty? So learning poverty is nothing but a student of grade 5 have forgotten what he or she learned in the previous grade. Similarly, in all the classes, the students forgotten totally what they have learned in the previous classes. This is said to be learning poverty. So currently we are facing many issues, and I have quoted only 3 issues, that is dropout rate, and then learning loss, and learning poverty. So in curriculum development, what we are going to do in order to address these issues. So for that, let me, and next slide. Yeah. So the first one is what changes we are going to do in the curriculum. The first one is STEM to STEAM. That is, this particular concept, this is being incorporated in the curriculum of US. In US, they have incorporated this STEM curriculum. Now the STEM is also outdated, and now from STEM, they have moved to STEAM. So what does it mean? So STEM is an acronym of 4 subjects, that is science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. So what is mean by STEM? The same 4 subjects, but A is added. A means arts. So why they have incorporated this particular curriculum in their education? So for that, we need to understand their historical perspective of STEM to STEAM. Ma'am, previous slide. Next slide, ma'am. Yes. So a nation at risk, that is, in the year 1983, an article was published in America in the name A Nation at Risk. So in this article, it was focused that there is a lack of qualified employees. There is a great demand for the qualified employees to be placed in STEM-related jobs in America. So there the problem started, and the STEM curriculum, the STEM education is being incorporated in the curriculum, and it is being the national agenda of America. So, and next what happens, once they incorporated the STEM curriculum, their economy was gone to a greater level, but that is not sufficient for them. Why? Because they are lagging behind in terms of innovation. So in order to do something in the field of innovation, they started doing research. So Robert Booth, Bernstein and MacArthur, when they conducted a study, in their research, what actually they did is, they have taken the biographies of 250 inventors and scientists like Einstein, Thomas Alva Edison, Galileo. They have taken so many of early 19th scientists. They have taken all the scientists and they have read the biographies. They made a research on the right and left brain of these scientists, and they came to know that almost nearly all the scientists are artists. Okay, so artists, for example, if you take Galileo, he was a poet and also a critic. And Einstein, he was a passionate violinist. So later they came to know that the lagging one is the arts. So thereby, and also the third one is John Hopkins in the year 2009. He conducted a study, and the findings of the study shows that this arts education is improved the creativity of the students and also the memory cognition of the students. So from these studies, later on, they incorporated this arts education in STEM. So now America firmly believes that the arts education, along with the other 4 subjects, that is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, is going to uplift the America's economy to a greater extent. So this is what STEM to STEAM. Next. Yes. And next one is thinking-based instruction theory. So this particular model is being incorporated in the curriculum of China. That is, during the time of pandemic, the same problem what we witnessed, China also encountered. So they came to know that the online teaching is not much effective, and the students could not cope up with the online teaching and the autonomous learning. They are lagging that autonomous learning. They cannot learn on their own. So what we can do in the curriculum, when all the educationists think over it, they come out with a model called thinking-based instructional model, in which apart from rote memory, the students were given an opportunity to think more on the content. So that is a thinking-based instructional model. And this particular model was based on the theories of Piaget and Vygotsky theory. That is constructivist theories of learning, such as Piaget's cognitive development theory and Vygotsky's social constructivist theory. So based on this, Dr. Hu and et al., they developed this thinking-based instructional model, especially during the time of COVID-19 pandemic. And later on, when they did an experiment, they came to know that after implementing this particular model in their curriculum, they found that there is a tremendous improvement in the learning of the children. That is, the thinking process of the children have improved to a greater level after implementing this thinking-based instructional model. Okay, the next one. Okay, so new realities, that is the future of education. Artificial intelligence in virtual reality, artificial intelligence in augmented reality, artificial intelligence in mixed reality. So virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality is going to be the future of education. See, why it is going to be the future of education? In our classroom, we have three types of learners. We all know, that is auditory learner, visual learner, and kinesthetic learner. That is the learning styles. We have three types of learning styles: visual, auditory, visual, and kinesthetic. But in class, most of the time, we are addressing the students, we are delivering the content through a lecture or discussion method. So what is happening? Only the auditory learners can able to process the information, and they are alone benefited, and the other two learners, that is the visual and kinesthetic learners, are not benefited out of the classroom teaching. So this virtual reality and augmented reality will help us to involve and engage all type of learners, which means the virtual reality will help the children to visualize the concept. Whatever the teacher teaches, the students can visualize the concept and they can learn very well. So this is where the virtual reality and augmented reality can add value to the learning process. So through this, the students can visualize the concept and learn easily. And one more thing is, it will enable new field trips. See, during this pandemic, it is not possible for us to take the children for a field trip, right? And hence, through virtual reality and augmented reality, we can take the students elsewhere in the country. We can take them to Australia, and we can make them to see the kangaroos, as well as we can, if you're going to teach the lesson universe, you can take the students to moon, and you can make them to walk on moon. See, anything is possible with the help of this virtual reality and augmented reality. So with that, education is not only, the field trip is not only accessible, affordable, and interesting too. So any kind of experience is possible with this new reality, that is artificial intelligence. And then we can provide hands-on learning to the students. So what is meant by hands-on learning? For example, if you want to dissect a frog, we will be cutting the frog and learning all the parts of the frog. But with the help of virtual reality, without not even hurting and harming the frog, we can dissect the frog and we can learn the internal organs. Even we can dissect the human body, and you can have a look at the what else, brain or heart, and we can have the real life experience. So learning through experience, learning by doing is possible with the help of this virtual reality and augmented reality. So mixed reality is nothing but a combination of virtual reality and augmented reality. So virtual reality means we need to have the tools which is necessary to make the things virtual. And augmented reality, even with our mobile phone, with the help of the real environment, with the digital notes, we can make it possible. So that is the difference between virtual and augmented reality. See, nowadays, in every schools, we are having science lab. We have laboratories for physics, chemistry, botany, and zoology. In future, every schools will be having this virtual laboratory for sure. So in this virtual laboratory, the students can visualize, can experience, they can have real life experience, and learning will be more informative and joyful thing for the students. Next one. Yes. So next one is hybrid learning model. So in hybrid learning model, what is happening? Actually, now the problem is due to pandemic education, we all know there is learning loss. So some students, if you're going to have the class in online mode, not all the students are good in attending online classes. Some can attend online class and some may not have that attention. The span of attention will be very low for some students, and hence they need face-to-face contact. They need to have individual care and attention from the teacher. Only then they can learn. So what we are going to address this particular issue, and during the time of pandemic. So with this hybrid learning model, part of the students will be attending the class in person, that is in offline mode, face-to-face teaching. And part of the students will be attending the class in an online mode. So those who are good in attending online class, they can opt for online class. And those who are in need of eye-to-eye contact, those who need some individual care and attention from the previous one, ma'am. Those who need some individual attention from the teacher, they can opt for this offline classroom. So what will happen? The teacher will address both the students in offline mode as well as online mode simultaneously. So many times this hybrid learning model is misunderstood with blended learning. So blended learning is entirely different from hybrid learning model. In blended learning model, all the students will attend the offline classes. After that, in order to support the content, what the teacher has taught in offline mode, some additional videos or Google Forms will be given to the students and they will be attending the rest of the things in an online mode. So it is a blend. We are going to blend both offline and online together. But it is in hybrid learning model. Some students will attend the class in offline and some will attend the class in offline and online. So the teacher will address both the groups simultaneously at the same time. So that is what we mean by hybrid learning model. With that, we can give individual attention to the students, and also we can maintain social distance in the class. So this pandemic during this pandemic time, this hybrid learning model will be very useful for the teachers to implement in the classroom. The next one. Yes. So personalized learning. So what is meant by that? So personalized learning means the teacher is going to tailor down the instruction according to the needs and requirements of the students. See, we all know that every student is unique and special in nature. There are individual differences in the classroom, right? So one size will not fit all. So one teacher cannot make the concept understandable to all the students in the classroom. So as a teacher, what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do justice for all the students in the classroom. So based on their individual needs, an individualized instruction will be prepared by the class teacher. So according to their needs, an instruction will be prepared, and based on that, the students will be learning. So here the question arises, how the teacher can prepare individualized learning material for all the students in the classroom. Suppose in my class, if I have 50 students, how can I prepare that? Definitely, it is a good question. But the thing is, according to NEP 2020, that is National Education Policy 2020, it says that the teacher-student ratio should be 1:25. And that too in rural areas, the teacher-student ratio should be 1:20. So in that case, definitely it will be possible to prepare this personalized learning or individualized learning instruction for the students. And one important thing is, the most important thing is here, we need to train the teachers to prepare this individualized instructional material, because unless and otherwise the teacher have knowledge in this particular area, she cannot tailor down the instruction according to the needs of the children. So we need to train the teachers right from in teacher education program itself. We have to train the student teachers and how to prepare individualized learning material for the students based on their learning needs. So this is one important model that will help to overcome the problems of learning loss and dropout rates. Next one. Okay. So since I was asked to make it very fast because some of the faculties are attending or are not attending, they are going for their election duty, I was asked to rush up the content. So I just cut down many slides and I make it very simple. So I would like to, so now the question may arise, how it is possible for implementing STEM or STEAM or that personalized learning or hybrid learning, how it is possible to implement this strategies or this technique in our curriculum for a country like India. So this is the question which arises. See, actually, definitely it is not possible, but if there is a will, there is a way. Because next I'm going to discuss on 4 unimagined education which happened during the time of pandemic. Next one. Next slide. Yes. Classroom, that is the new normal for students in Odisha. That is, in a village, Odisha, when the students are attending online classes, they face the connectivity issues. They have network problems. Ma'am, the previous slide, ma'am. So they have this connectivity issues. So what the students in that village they did, they all climbed up the tree and sitting over the tree, they all attended classes in order to overcome the connectivity issue. And even learning can take place over a tree, on the tree, right? So though it is risky, the students have found some innovative way to overcome this connectivity issues. So their learning takes place even during pandemic with the help of the students, not with the help, the students, their interest, their self-motivation help them to climb over a tree in order to attend the online classes, though they have connectivity issues. The next one. Yes. So radio to the rescue for the children in Indonesia. So in Indonesia, what they did is the government, they have arranged an interactive talk show for the students, a radio program in which educators are invited for the show and the students were asked to contact them and they can ask their doubts. So learning takes place through talk shows. Okay, so that is the essence of this program. Not only the students were given an opportunity to clarify the doubts or learning, as well as the parents were given an opportunity to clarify their doubts about online classes, as well as how to parenting, that is positive parenting. So many suggestions were given to the parents on positive parenting, and also the students were benefited out of this radio talk shows. Through interaction, they have clarified many doubts and the lessons were taken through this talk show program. So radio to rescue for children in Indonesia. So even learning takes place during pandemic with the help of this talk show. The next one. Yes. Camel library in Ethiopia. It's very difficult to keep in touch with the children in village, in rural areas. So what they did, they identified some 33 villages. So in order to help the children from 33 villages, they prepared this camel. They involved 21 camels for this. So each camel can carry 200 textbooks in wooden box, which was strapped at the back of the camel. And this textbooks were taken to the students to their doorsteps, and the students were benefited out of this camel library. Okay, so many students in rural area, nearly 22,000 children in Ethiopia were benefited out of this camel library, and it is a very good initiative taken by the government of Ethiopia. So learning is possible even during pandemic with the help of camel library in Ethiopia. And the last one is, yes, school in a box kit. So school in a box kit facilitated by Philippines schools. So in Philippines, what they did, they have identified 24 schools. In that schools, all the kindergarten children receive this school in a box kit. So it is a plastic kit which consists of books, toys from a friend, as well as it's a sponsor kit. So not only art supplies, so many stationaries were provided to the children. Not only it is for children, even some guide. 2 guides were given to the parents for how to set up online classroom environment for the students at home. So the guide for students as well as the learning kit for the children, KG children. So many children were benefited out of the school in a box kit in Philippines. So they made learning possible even during pandemic with the help of school in a box kit. So if there is a will, there is a way. We need to think on innovations. Only then we can do wonders in the life of the children. In our country, still we are giving blame excuses that the government school students cannot afford a smartphone and they cannot afford internet. They cannot spend for connectivity, net connectivity issues and so many things. And we are giving blame excuses for handling online classes for government school children. But in what are the examples which I have screened, the 4 examples, all these things happened in rural areas, not in metro cities. So there is a will, there is a way. We teachers, we educators, we have to think over innovative techniques. Only then these should be incorporated in the curriculum. So curriculum is not about the content. It is how we are going to transact the curriculum. That is also equally important. Curriculum transaction. How I'm going to take the content to the students. How the teachers are going to present the content to the students. How they are going to make it easy and understandable to the students. That is equally important like curriculum development. So with that, the next one. Yes. More important than the curriculum is the question of the methods of teaching and the spirit in which the teaching is given. So, though curriculum is important, though national curriculum framework for school education, early childhood care and education, teacher education, adult education is important, the most important thing is the strategy which we are going to apply in the classroom in order to make the content easy and understandable to the students, and the spirit of teacher is very, very important. I used to say that teaching is a profession. Teaching is both hell and heaven. It is hell for those who choose this profession for money minded, and it is heaven for those who choose this profession for service minded. So if the teachers are service minded, definitely, though we have pandemic, though we have crisis in terms of finance or so many things, we can do justice to the profession and we can do wonders in the life of the children. With that, I conclude my presentation. Thank you so much. I hope I finished on time. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. The session was very thought-provoking. Your thoughts have immensely enhanced the importance of recent trends in curriculum. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Shamla madam. Very good presentation.
Thank you, Geeta ma'am, for the opportunity. Thank you. I thank both the management for giving me this opportunity, especially Geeta ma'am. She called me over phone and she asked me. So thank you so much, ma'am, for the opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am. Very nice presentation.
Thank
Selva
you,
Kumar.
sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
so
ma'am.
much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Gratitude is the fairest blossom which springs from the soul. Now I call upon Dr. V. Anuradha ma'am, Assistant Professor, Faculty of Education, Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute, to render the vote of thanks.
Vinolia, is my audio clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing gratitude is one of the simplest yet most powerful things humans can do for each other. On behalf of Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute and Western College of Education, we are immensely pleased and privileged to propose vote of thanks. First and foremost, we extend our gratitude to the guest of today's session, Dr. A. Shyamala Devi, Assistant Professor, Department of Education, University of Madras, Chepauk Campus, Chennai, for the thought-provoking session on recent trends on curriculum development. We are grateful to extend our heartfelt thanks to all the dignitaries and executives of both the institution, Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute and Western College of Education, Chennai, for the support in the execution of this short-term course on curriculum design and development. And it's a gracious moment to extend our tremendous happiness to thank all the galvanized participants for sparing their precious time with us on all the 5 consecutive days to quench the thirst of knowledge. We deem it a great pleasure to thank our dear organizing secretaries of both the institution for their strenuous effort in making this event a grand success. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Dr. V. Anuradha ma'am, for your gratitudinal note. Wisdom is not a product of schooling, but the lifelong attempt to acquire it. Once again, I welcome you all on behalf of the organizers for the valedictory section of the virtual short-term course on curriculum design and development. I would like to call upon Mrs. Vigneshwari ma'am, Assistant Professor, Faculty of Education, Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute, to present the report on the 5-day virtual short-term course on curriculum design and development.
Yes, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
We are profoundly elated to share the report of the virtual short-term course on curriculum design and development, jointly organized by the Faculty of Education, Dr. MGR Education Research Institute, Chennai, and Curriculum Development Cell, Western College of Education, Chennai, from 14th February to 18th February 2022. The objective of the course is to inculcate knowledge on designing and structuring the curriculum towards development. It also includes planning, implementation, and evaluation process of the curriculum. We have received more than 700 participants registered for this virtual short-term course from all over India and other countries like Afghanistan, Pakistan, Malaysia, etc. The first day session on Learning Outcome-Based Curriculum Framework, LOCF, started with an inaugural session on 14/2/2022 at 2:15 p.m. with an invocation. The virtual gathering was given a congenial welcome by Dr. K. Geeta, Principal, Faculty of Education, Dr. MGR Education Research Institute, and the inaugural address was delivered by Dr. S. Geeta Lakshmi, Vice Chancellor, Dr. MGR Education Research Institute, with a vibrant, inspiring, and motivating note on curriculum design and its useful on the development of the learners. The resource person of day one, that is on 14 February 2022, Dr. C. James, Associate Professor of Physics, Dean, IQAC, the Controller of Examinations, Scott Christian College, Nagarkoil, was introduced by Dr. S. Devasahayam Selvakumar, Principal, Western College of Education, Chennai. The session had an insight on how the new education policy focused on learning outcomes, and so the guest elaborated on outcome-based education that targets success for all at the end. The second day session was hosted by Professor A. Muthumanikam, Syndicate Member, TNOU, former Registrar I in charge, former Dean, Arts, former Professor and Head, Department of Education, Madurai Kamaraj University, on the topic Curriculum Design and Strategies. The guest detailed on 3 phases of the curriculum, that is development phase, implement phase, and evaluation phase. And also, he insisted on the curriculum which has to be designed based on the level of learners and elaborated the methods of teaching and learning. On day 3, the session on approaches to curriculum evaluation was hosted by Dr. K. Shiba, Associate Professor, HOD in charge of School of Education, Wales Institute of Science, Technology and Advanced Studies, Wales University. The guest detailed on the 7 steps to develop the curriculum. And finally, she insisted that curriculum makes one sharp and shows the focus on the role of learners, teachers, and the curriculum specialist. On day 4, the session on issues related to curriculum development by Dr. Kiran Lata Dangwal, Associate Professor, former Additional Dean, Academic Cell, Department of Education, University of Lucknow. The session had an insight on the issues at central, state, school, and classroom level. Also, the speaker insisted to focus on the plan of the curriculum to reduce the maximum issues prevailing. On day 5, today, Dr. A. Shamla Devi, Assistant Professor, Department of Education, University of Madras, gave an insight on the topic, recent trends in curriculum development. The resource person elaborated the recent trends followed in United States from STEM to STEAM and the trends followed in China and detailed on the new realities. The future of education, that is virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality. Thus, a 5-day session was a complete package on curriculum design and development. I feel blessed and elated for the opportunity rendered to me to present this report of this virtual short-term course. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ms. Vigneshwari ma'am, for the detailed report. Now is the feedback session. Participants can give your opinion and suggestion about this 5-day virtual short-term course. Feedback session.
Yeah, participants, if you have any queries, you can ask, or you can share your feedback now.
Yeah, good afternoon. This is Namrata Balaji from Coimbatore, and this short-term course have transformed our understanding of the meaning of content development and allowed us to internalize the theory and gave us more of ownership of course design, which in turn inspired a deeper connection with our curricula. So I would like to thank and appreciate the organizers for arranging such an informative short-term virtual course. Thank you.
Participants, if anyone is willing to share your feedback, just raise your hand so that we'll unmute your microphone. Is there anyone willing to share your feedback? I think they are giving their feedback in the chat box. Very positive feedback regarding your presentation, ma'am. Thanks for excellent feedback. Very useful, informative, and knowledgeable session.
Yeah, I'm reading all the comments, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Very good positive feedback has been given in the chat box.
Actually, I prepared many slides. but
Hello, good afternoon,
time
ma'am. This is
constraint,
Manisha
One person
Patil.
is giving a feedback.
Yeah.
Yes, hello, am I audible? This is
Yeah.
Manisha Patil.
Manisha, yes, you can proceed.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving me an opportunity to express our heartfelt gratitude to all the dignitaries and the organizers. Such wonderful sessions. All the sessions were really very interesting, very informative, and it was the need of the hour. That being a teacher, we always had lot many questions in regards of the curriculum design, development, then the issues that generally we face for academic. So most of them were cleared throughout the sessions. All that were really so that we guide our student in the correct direction. So thank you very much. That has given us a torch, and that torch will throw its light now in future to the future of our future generations. So thank you for brightening the lighthouse in our mind so that we can enlighten the future generation. So it was fantabulous, fantastic, excellent sessions, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Manisha. And one more person, V. Sundaresan is there.
Yes,
sir?
madam. Yes.
You can proceed.
Thank you very much, madam. Good afternoon to everybody. I'm Dr. Sundaresan from Hyderabad. I have been attending the session right from the beginning, but going to my classroom preoccupations, I could not attend fully the second day and the third day. But kudos to the team who have made this program a viable one, which has given a much impact to the teaching fraternity to equip themselves further and further with the lectures offered to the participants. I request your services to continue forever. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
And Vinolia, you can carry on with your.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you all. Acknowledging the good that you already have in your life is the foundation for all abundance. Now I call upon Mr. Anthony Santatilan, Assistant Professor of Education, Western College of Education, to render the vote of thanks.
Thank you so much, Vinoli madam. This is Professor Anthony from Western College of Education. On behalf of Dr. MGR Education and Research Institute and Curriculum Development Cell of Western College of Education, really I thank both the managements to jointly venture and make a collaboration to organize this virtual short-term course on the topic curriculum design and development from 14th February to 18th February. It's great privilege for myself and the co-institution to make a joint venture to organize this course. So being a university and being a college, it's the first time we are mingling and mixing each other to collaborate. Thank you so much for both the management for this opportunity. Next, I thank the organizing committee members, the chief patron, Engineer ACS Arun Kumar, President, Dr. MGR Education Research Institute, Chennai, and Major ES Daniel Gunanidhi, IAS Retired President, Western Education and Development Association, Chennai. And I thank the patrons, Professor Dr. S. Geeta Lakshmi, Vice Chancellor, Dr. MGR Education and Research Institute, Chennai, and Dr. N. Vijayan, Vice President and Academic Dean, Western Education and Development Association, Chennai. And I also thank the co-patrons of this program, Professor Dr. C.B. Palanivelu, Registrar, Dr. MGR Medical Educational Research Institute, Chennai, and Reverend Father Ludusami Susai, SDB, Secretary, Western Education and Development Association, Chennai, for the rendering the support. And I thank the conveners of this program, Professor Dr. K. Geeta, Principal, Faculty of Education, Dr. MGR Education and Research Institute, Chennai, Dr. S. Devasahayam Selvakumar, Principal, Western College of Education, Chennai, for their backbone and their support towards the program. And I thank all the organizing secretaries in the name by Ms. J. Vigneshwari, Assistant Professor, Dr. MGR Education Research Institute, Chennai, Mrs. L. Maria Suganti, Assistant Professor, Dr. MGR Education and Research Institute, Chennai, Mr. D. Arnold Robinson, Assistant Professor of Biological Science, Western College of Education, Chennai. And finally, Mrs. J. Beulah Kirba, Assistant Professor of History, Western College of Education, Chennai, for their tireless support and their efforts. And it's a great privilege for myself to thank all the resource persons of each day's session, especially the day one session, Dr. C. James, Associate Professor of Physics and Dean, Professor of Physics and Dean IQAC, the Controller of Examinations, Scott Christian College, Autonomous, Nagarkoil, who spoke on the learning outcome-based curriculum framework. And day 2, that is 15th February, Professor A. Muthumanikam, Syndicate Member, Tamil Nadu Open University, former Registrar in Charge, former Dean, Arts, former Professor and Head, Department of Education, Madurai Kamaraj University, Madurai, who spoke on the topic curriculum design strategies. And this program that is on story, Dr. K. Shiba, as a professor, for of education, Wales Institute of Science, Technology and Studies, Vistas, Wales University, Chennai, on topic. Chief guest, Dr. Mrs. Kiran Lata Dangwal, Assistant Professor and former Additional Dean, Academic Cell, Department of Education, University of Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh, who spoke on issues related to curriculum development. And the final day's chief guest, Dr. A. Shyamla Devi, Assistant Professor, Department of Education, University of Madras, Chepa Campus, Chennai, who spoke on topic recent trends in curriculum development. I thank all the chief guests and the resource persons who spare their valuable time to spend with us for giving on the particular topics. And finally, I thank all those who are given the welcome address for all the programs, and I thank all the members who introduced the chief guest, and I thank all the members who propose vote of thanks for all the programs, and not the least, I thank all the hosts, that is the master and mistress of ceremonies, for all the programs, all the 5 days program, along with the introduction and valedictory sessions. Thank you so much for this opportunity. It's a great privilege for myself to be a part of this program. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sir, for proposing the vote of thanks for the valedictory section. Once again, thank you everyone for your presence. Please fill the feedback form posted in the chat box. Thank you. Let us rise up for the National Anthem.
Thank you very much for all of you. Thank you, participants, dear participants. The success is because of you. Feedback link will be shared. Kindly you fill up and you will get the certificate.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you, ma'am. Geeta, ma'am, thank you. Thank you for all the. Yes, thank you, all the organizers.
Thank you,
Manju
sir.
Gupta madam is there. Manju Gupta ma'am is there.
What's that?
Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Dear participants, it will take 1 week time to generate the certificates. Kindly bear with us and be patient till you receive your certificates. Those who attended all the 5 days will be given the certificates, and those who filled the feedback from all the 5 days alone will be given the certificates. Thank you, everyone.